Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and today we're taking a look at a specific product offering, and that is the Heckfire trigger from ShootingSight. And we're doing that in the context of my HK91, my customized HK91 here, that I took to Finish Brutality this year. Technically, actually last year. Now, long ago, I talked about the HK91 in a video with TFB TV, where I said I hated the rifle for and articulated a couple specific reasons. Well, this guy, my customized G3, has fixed all of those problems, and one of the big ones was fixed by the ShootingSight trigger. Now, they called it the Heckfire trigger, which is kind of a dorky name to me, but what it is essentially is a drop-in cassette trigger for HK pattern rifles, and it works on any of them. It works on the 9mm, the MP5 pattern guns, it works on the 5.56s, the HK33s, it works on the 308s, the G3s, the HK91s, and it works on the clones of all of those guns. So if you've got a Turkish one, or you've got, any number of roller lock HK pattern guns, this is a trigger mechanism that will work for your gun, which is really cool. It's kind of like all the other, kind of like the full auto trigger packs that are sort of drop-in transmissible between, or transferable between different patterns of gun. Anyway, I actually have this one in a Magpul grip, so that'll tell you right there it doesn't require the original German grip to run. What the trigger does is give you a fantastic trigger pull. One of the things about HK rifles in general is that their trigger pulls are kind of mushy and crap. And prior to this trigger pack, I had an original HK one that I'd had worked over by a guy named Bill Springfield. That was good. It was definitely better than the stock, but not nearly as good as what ShootingSight has put together. They have a really nice, crisp two-stage trigger, comes in at little under 5 pounds of firing pressure. It's great. It really works over the trigger in a G3 in a way that takes away one of the major faults with the rifle. So let me just show you. By the way, the other things I didn't like about the G3 were the fact that the charging handle is not set up for lefties at all, and this one has the charging handle put on the opposite side. And I didn't like the stock setup, and the spur stock from Heckfire Spur has fixed that problem completely. So this is a really slick rifle. Interesting thing about this, it comes almost complete, but not quite complete. The ShootingSight, the Heckfire trigger, comes without the ejector and pin and spring. So what you'll need to do is actually take those parts out of your existing trigger and put them into the Heckfire trigger. And the reason for that is those parts are different on different caliber guns. So that's something that allows the Heckfire trigger to be universal, is you're going to put the non-common part you're going to take out of your existing gun and put into the trigger and then install it. So awkwardly, embarrassingly, when I first put it into my G3 here, I didn't even think about it and didn't do that and took it out to the range, and man, it wouldn't eject. It was having problems ejecting for some reason with this new trigger, and yeah, because I didn't have the ejector in it. Derp. Anyway, fixed that. It's run great for me during all of my practice shooting leading up to Finish Brutality. I had no troubles with it at Finish Brutality. I took the original trigger pack just in case something goes wrong with this fancy match, really nice trigger. No, it turns out in the mud and the dirt at Finish Brutality, had no problems with it whatsoever. It is also set up for ambidextrous use. It's got setups. In fact, if you take a closer look here, I can show you. We have a paddle on the right side for my left-handed thumb. We also, of course, have a paddle on the opposite side. And now, this is, I've had this for a while now. The current versions that are being sold now come with also like a non-paddle button. You have to have something on both sides to hold the complete assembly in place. But they send it with just a round button. So if you want either left-handed only or right-handed only, you can set it up that way. It comes with the trigger paddles to do that. You can also set it up as ambi, which is what I've got it right now. Selector movement is nice and smooth. Got detents for it, but not hard to adjust. The trigger paddles are long enough that you can operate that with your thumb, unlike some of the Gorilla thumb requirements for stock HK setups. The downside to this is it's $400. You might be able to find it like $20 less than that, various places. You can get it directly from the manufacturer at shootingsight.com. HK Parts has it. I believe I've been told that a lot of the HK shooting team actually use these triggers themselves, and that speaks highly of them. So it's a bit expensive, especially if you've got, if you got yourself $1,000 clone set me sort of thing, you're going to be putting a lot of the value of that rifle back into a new trigger pack for it. Is that worth it to you? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If you've got a full price SP5, or you've got a really nice, tricked out G3 like this one, to me, the $400 for that trigger is pretty well worth it. There are other options out there. I know there are some grip frame assemblies you can get that will take AK or AR cassette triggers, but by the time you do a grip frame and a good AR trigger, you're getting pretty close to the same price anyway. The customer support from Heckfire is fantastic. It's a small company. It's basically a one-man product. He developed this, he's iterated it, he's fixed a couple of the early teething issues that it had, and it is now a fantastic trigger that I have absolutely no complaints about, and I'm really happy to have. So you've seen the second one I have outside of the gun. That second one will be going into an SP5, and we'll be doing some video on that coming up later. But I've had this thing for long enough from ShootingSight. I should say they did send me these free of charge. And you know what? Maybe I'm biased, but I am not looking to put my old trigger back into this rifle. So take that as you will. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.